panga mtunzi tiende pamozi tonse a Zambia mtima umozi chikondi chatu palibe kusiana ndife amozi tieni tipange ziko latu.
Good evening, Zambia. Tonight, the drama deepens around the late former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's body, and it's not the kind of peace one would expect at a time of mourning. In a statement that sounded more like a court affidavit than a family update, Lungu's longtime lawyer Makebi Zulu laid it all out, accusing the Zambian government of breaching trust, running secret operations, and turning a funeral into a political chess match. What was meant to be a dignified mediation process between the government and the family has instead descended into a tug-of-war where every move seems designed to test the nation's patience. Zulu says there was a clear agreement in early September. Two respected men of faith, Bishop Joshua Banda, chosen by the state, and Archbishop Alec Banda, chosen by the family, would mediate and rebuild the broken trust after the government allegedly released a funeral program without the family's consent. It sounded like progress, but before mediation could even begin, Zulu claims that the government went behind the family's back, hiring a private investigator to approach the South African morgue where the former president's body lies. The investigator allegedly came with plainclothes police officers claiming that a case of poisoning had been opened, not in a court, not by the family, but apparently based on social media chatter. If that sounds messy, it's because it is. According to the statement, when the family tried to contact the investigator, he refused to talk, choosing instead to meet the morgue management in secret. Meeting minutes confirmed that he claimed to be working on behalf of the Zambian government and wanted to conduct a post-mortem. The morgue stood its ground, citing a court order prohibiting the release of the body. But the damage was already done. Trust had been broken again. When the family turned to Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick for answers, he reportedly denied any knowledge of the investigator and promised to check. Days passed, and when pressed again, Kangwa allegedly admitted he couldn't put anything in writing. In diplomatic terms, that's the same as saying something is wrong, but don't quote me. Then came another twist. A group calling itself the Progressive Forces of South Africa filed a report accusing unknown parties of murdering the late president. The same group had previously demonstrated in support of the Zambian government at the Pretoria High Court. So the family believes this was yet another move to discredit them and confuse the public. Makebi Zulu calls it a clandestine campaign, a phrase that captures just how murky this issue has become. And just as Archbishop Alec Banda, the family's chosen mediator, returned home ready to begin the long-delayed talks, a barrage of online attacks suddenly erupted against him. Zulu says rogue media outlets and individuals aligned with the government accused the Archbishop of bias, corruption, and worse, forcing him into silence before he could even start his work. Once again, the dialogue collapsed under the weight of politics and mistrust. It has now been months since Edgar Lungu's passing in South Africa, and instead of unity, Zambia finds itself debating where and how to bury one of its own. On one side stands the family, appealing for a dignified burial according to Lungu's wishes. On the other stands the state invoking the law and the nation's right to honor a former head of state in accordance with national tradition. Both sides claim to seek dignity, yet the longer this drags, the more it feels like that dignity is being buried long before the man himself. Makebi Zulu insists that the family remains committed to peaceful engagement and to ensuring that Lungu's final rest reflects respect, faith, and closure. He thanked the Zambian people and all well-wishers for their support during what is described as the darkest hour. But beneath the calm tone of his statement lies a plea, not for political victory, but for humanity, transparency, and an end to the endless back and forth that has kept the nation in suspense. And yet, beyond all the emotions, one truth remains unshaken. Zambia, as a sovereign nation, has a constitutional and moral right to honor and bury its leaders according to its laws and traditions. The Lungu family's grief is real, their pain understandable, but so too is the nation's duty to give its former president a farewell befitting his office. What's needed now is not more suspicion or blame, but a moment of unity where both family and state rise above politics and let dignity, law, and compassion guide the way forward. Because in the end, no matter which side of the argument one stands on, Zambia must not be seen fighting over the body of a man who once led it. From Zambian Files, this is a reminder that in life or death, leadership should still unite a nation, not divide it. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let's keep the conversation alive because history is being written.